Hi everyone. I'm going to do a tangle this morning, but I'm gonna do a Christmas tree tangle like this one here. I started out this one and started making a card, but I am just not the best at card making, and so this is not the best. And in fact, I don't even like it. It's just too boring. So I think I'm going to start another one or add to this one something. I'm going to liven it up. But what I'm going to show you now is how I actually tangled the Christmas tree itself. So what I do first is I take my pencil and I make the shape of the Christmas tree. Okay, just start at the top in the middle there, and then go down to each edge, and then go across, and then make the stem. That's all you need. Now that's your little guide that you're going to need. Now this one I did with Sharpie markers. So you can, any kind of a fine tipped marker that you might have. I'm using the Sharpies because they are what are sitting right here next to me. But I've got some other fine tip markers that I know would work as well too, and also gel pens that would go too. Big fat markers, I don't think so, unless you're making a big fat tree. Well, then they might. Okay, so you can't hardly see that shape of the tree. I hope I don't cough too much through this. Okay, but so what we're going to do is we're going to use the shape of the tree as guidelines, and then all we're going to do is make swirls. Swirl here and there until you fill up your tree. And we're just going to fill that tree with swirls. You see how those swirls are all in the tree? Yeah, that's what we're doing right here. And you can have some going one way, some going another way, a swirl off of a swirl, or a swirl coming from the side, a swirl wherever you want the swirls. Because this is your tree, you planted it. And so we're going to just continue to go until the tree has got enough swirls. Okay. This one I just put off, started it in the middle. I think that's okay. And we keep swirling. Then when it looks like you might have enough swirls in there, maybe I need one right here. Then you're going to go over the swirls. Go over them again with that same marker. I'm going to go over them with my same Sharpie. But I'm not going to take my time doing it. I'm going to go over them kind of haphazardly, where like this. Just go over each one like this, where the lines do not match up exactly at all. You don't want them to match up exactly. And just continue until you get till you've went over all of your swirls. Looks pretty simple so far, doesn't it? And pretty already. I'm telling you what's the truth here. There we go. Now, I think I've got them all doubled up. So now I've doubled up the swirls. Now this is the time-consuming kind of part here, is to go, now see here how I went with my swirl and then I went over it. I've got little spaces. And I'm going to go in all those little spaces and color them in. Now, so see, like right there, there's no space, see? But then there's a space. And just color in all those spaces with your green Sharpie or whatever. Now, you can do this all in black and white if you want to do that way. You can make a red tree if you want a red tree. You can make a purple one, you know. There's no laws in this one. But I'm going through now and I'm coloring in those spots. Those, oh, I didn't do that one. Okay. And that puts like a little heaviness in areas of the swirl. And so in some I have more spots than others. This one here, it kind of got wide. And the hubster's out there. He's got burning branches again. We got one spot out there that we're constantly have, you know, yard trimmings. And then he burns them, and it always smells so good. I love the smell of a campfire. It smells so good. He was mowing the grass here a while back one day, and I was sitting on a front porch watching him mow. And then the smell of the grass being cut was so awesome. It smelled like the farm when I was on the farm still, and it would be haymaking season, and they would be out there with the tractor mowing the hay, getting it ready for baling and such. And gosh, it smelled, the smell of Papa mowing, and brought me right back to that farm. It brought me back to those thoughts, the days on the farm of what it smelled like when it was haymaking season, and this would probably be haymaking season up there now too. Maybe it's a little past, I don't know. But gosh, it always smelled so good with that fresh mown hay, and it just brought me so back that the memories actually made me cry. It was like just tears. I wasn't really crying with these tears, just the memories, the memories that you have from your days of growing up they might not be all good, but there's some good. And when those good memories pop up, it's just amazing, because when those memories popped up of haymaking season, then it went to helping my grandmother, because all the guys were out in the men, we called them the men, they were all out working, and then the women, me and my grandmother, were in the house, in the farmhouse, imagine, and getting ready for their coffee break. It was always called a coffee break. And but although she usually never brought coffee out there, she usually brought root beer and cinnamon rolls. That was the main thing that usually went out for coffee break. And we would put that stuff in a wagon and then walk out to the field where they were working. And then when they saw us coming with the wagon, they knew it was time for coffee break, and they all stopped and had root beer and cinnamon rolls. Now, sometimes there were different things, but my grandmother made her own root beer. She would get the extract from the Watkins man, and then she would have glass gallon jars, and she made the root beer. But somehow that root beer had to sit out in the sun. As I remember the lineup of gallon jugs on the sidewalk that went out from the basement door, and there was a sidewalk that went to the milk house, and that sidewalk would be just filled with gallon jugs. Maybe there was only 3 or 4, but in my small mind it seemed like there was 100. And they would be there. I don't know how long she'd have to leave them in the sun, but and I don't know what all she had to add to that. I don't remember, but she made her own root beer, and it was the best root beer ever. And so we would go out to the fields with the coffee break, and we would bring out to all the men that were working on making hay. Some hay got put up into the hay loft, some of it got baled, and so it was quite a ordeal at haymaking season to get it all done and get it all brought in. Okay, now there, I've done the tree pretty much. I think I'm happy with where I'm at with that, but see how pretty that is already with just those swirls. And then I'll take my brown marker and I'll do the tree stem the same way. I'm going to make smaller ones, but with the brown. And that's for the tree trunk or the tree stem or the whatever you call it. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and weight in these lines rather than to try to go over them again. I'm just going to weight in some of the lines. Let's just put some, thicken up some of the lines just to put that weight there. But sometimes just reminiscing and thinking about the good old days, you know, and we have good old days even now, of course, but not meaning that these days are bad, you know, because they're not. They're still good. Okay, now let me see what we're going to do. Now I want to put in some Christmas ornaments. I want some ornaments on this tree. Now this is where you start getting, you can start doing your own little thing here. You can start doing whatever. So I'm putting little swirls, just little ones here. And those are my ornaments. You can put them all the same color, all different colors. And you can do different things, like glue in, I've had these here, red. I was doing something else and it was a fail, but I got some of these red sequins, and those would be pretty on there. And I also have, what I would do with these is, I've got some spots, glue dots somewhere. And that's how I think I would attach those to my tree, is with the little tiny glue dots. I think that would work best. Okay, so here, now I think I have my tree. My tree is a little lopsided, but hey, not every tree is perfect. That's why it takes so long when you go to the tree farm to pick out your tree, because you got to find one that looks as close to perfect as you can. So now I'm cutting it out, but see, I'm not cutting it out straight on the line. I'm kind of giving it a curvy shape, making it curvy. See how you can see here how I made that line curvy as I was cutting? And this, going in your Christmas album or your on a Christmas card. I do want to put some on a Christmas card. And this is, I mean, they turn out so pretty. and so putting them on a Christmas card, you would be putting your own little artwork. And I think if you were to put let me see, where's my green? If you were to put this, like if you have a Christmas backing like this, Christmas paper, and you put it on the Christmas paper, and oh, I didn't say also that I started with I put it on a piece of paper that was the same size. Like this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, this card. So if you take an 8 1/2 by 11, cut it in half, and then fold it in half, then you've got this this size of a card. And so this is the size of the paper that you want to get to start your image on, so you know you're going to end up with the right size to go on your card. I overdid this one. I'm not real crazy about that one. But anyhow, oh, and then I take my, let's see, let me find my green one. Where's my green one? Okay. That's my green one. Okay. And so I'm going to, well, first I got brown already on there, so I'm going to go around the trunk, and I'm just going to just edge the trunk. And then I'll pull this off of here and put on my green one, and then I will edge the tree. Just kind of edge that tree and put that green around the tree. And that's the tree. Then you can, now this is where you get your own, you come up with your own ideas now of how you want to decorate. Let's see, I've got some, let's see what I have here. I don't really have Christmassy colors. Oh, this blue would be pretty though, wouldn't it? Some of these are, this is liquid pearls. Some of these are Stickles, and some are liquid pearls in here. So I'm going to just see if this one actually works. Oh yeah. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to put a few little of these, decorate my tree. And when you use your liquid pearls or your Stickles, then you're also, and there's also different things. What is that? That Nouveau drops, I think, work the same way. And which then you're having decorations on your tree, but you're also having texture. So that is just one thing you can do, but you can come up with many different things that you can do. Let's see, this one here is Stickles, and it's called Frosted Lace, and I'm going to see if that comes out. Yeah, and so that puts, you know, what if I go right on top of the red? Ooh, that would be pretty. And that's real pretty.
Yes, it is.
And we'll just get those put in there. And just went over each one of the reds. That's pretty too. I like that a lot. Alright, and so that's how I've got my tree decorated. And now I will go with putting that on a card, and I'm going to put a background on it and then get it put on a card. I kind of like this piece. This was off of a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and I just cut. Oh, it's not the right size, but I kind of like that as the background even. So that's like a tree that's standing out in the forest of trees.
That's real good contrast.
And so that's probably how I'll let that be. So that's what I wanted to show you today. Now this one I went over with even a stamp, and I went and put some ink, some different colors in it, and so it kind of makes it almost a little bit more lively. And so but on this one maybe I can fix that up by putting, you know, I'm thinking now maybe if I do go with some, let's see, this is like gold. Sometimes these get clogged where I can't get anything out of them. And this one I think wants to be clogged. Okay, so we're not going to mess with that one. Then this one is sort of like a platinum. Let's see if that one's clogged. No, that one's working. So what if I do some platinums here, which to me that looks kind of gold. That is really pretty. Now see, that puts some texture and oh, and it definitely needs a star on top of the tree too. I'm one who likes a star on top of my Christmas tree. I know a lot of people will put other things, an angel or something on top of their tree. Oh, now it got clogged. And so, but I got enough on there before it decided to clog itself. But I'm one for a star. The Star of Bethlehem. And so I'll find a star to put on the top of that tree, or I will maybe draw one and put it on the top of that tree. But see, now just by putting that little bit of Stickles on there, see how that gave it some sparkle and a little bit more dimension. And so see, now where I wasn't real happy with it, I'm happier with it now. So that's what I wanted to show you today, is just how I make my little Christmas tree. So, and then I'm going to, of course, read in my heart thoughts. Let's see if I can find something that looks... Let me see. Oh, here. This is about your health. Okay, I've probably read all of these before, and some of them you'll say, oh, I've heard you read that before. Well, yeah, okay. This one here has to do with your health. The body, like everything else in life, is a mirror of your inner thoughts and beliefs. Every cell responds to every single thought you think and every word you speak. In this world of change, you choose to be flexible in all areas. You are willing to change yourself and your beliefs to improve the quality of your life in your world. Your body loves you in spite of how you may treat it. Your body communicates with you, and you now listen to its messages. You are willing to get the message. You pay attention and make that necessary correction. You give your body what it needs on every level to bring back to optimal health. You call upon an inner strength that is yours whenever you need it. And so it is. That's good. That's good. You know, even though these are made, really, this book is made to be read over and over and over. Because sometimes, you know, and each one of these, when you turn the pages, each one of the headings on here is like a positive affirmation. I accept all parts of myself. I accept all that I have created for myself. I am on the next step to my healing. I am open and receptive. Each one of these are a positive affirmation. The answers within me come to my awareness with ease. You know, I'm looking, I've had this book for a couple years, but I'm just now looking at all of the fonts here. and how artistic they each are. And like I was looking at this, just the heart word here, and how pretty that is. Just, make a word and then put your tangles in the letters. And this is so close to Zentangle style art. The the way that each one of these are. Look how pretty the AM. I am free to be me. Look at the me. Look at that E. I mean, I'm just now really noticing how beautiful these are, the lettering is, and something that we can learn to do ourselves to make our art beautiful. I mean, just add something to it. Just to add something to it. So even just the book is valuable for what we read out of it, but it's also valuable for the 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 inspiration for art. Like, look at this, drawn at the top of a page like this. It's beautiful. And look at the bottom, how those flowers are at the bottom. Just the artwork. My card keeps slipping off my phone. Just the artwork on these, it's beautiful and gives you such an idea, so much inspiration as what you can do on your own pages. And I think it's beautiful. Okay, that's it for today, for right now. Who knows, later I might do something different. And so, but I ask God to watch over you every step you take, every move you make, and I will see your smiling face on the next video. I ask God to watch over you every step you take, every move you make. Did I already say that? And I said it again. I find myself repeating myself a lot lately. My children remind me, say, yes, Mom, you already told us that. Okay, well, I'm telling you again. So anyhow, and I'm lost my mouse. Oh, there it is. There's my mouse. I just got to follow the cord. And there's my mouse. And so I'm going to end this today, but I'll see you soon. God bless you all.